presidential tours are very good. They have come at the right time. It is always good that mid-term we move as a party, as a government, to interact with the population and confirm how our promises that we made during the elections are being implemented. And then this tour is mainly to address that and also to re-emphasize the message that the president has been giving about household poverty and the fight against poverty at household level. And so we started with the Nile Subregion. We concluded with the West Nile yesterday. The president is moving next to the Greater Masaka, and he will round all the sub-regions of Uganda, the 18 sub-regions of Uganda. This is to help the government and the party to interact with the population directly, to find out how we can improve where we have not been performing well and how we can supervise our government better. Because from what we have learned in these two sub-regions that we have concluded, there seems to be a lot of challenges between local governments and communities in terms of community understanding what government is doing. Projects of government that are supposed to be implemented are being messed up either intentionally or by policy issues. People have been openly telling the president how many of these programs have been a challenge to them to access. So this tour is very good. It is something that is exciting the public to find an ordinary person from his village coming to the microphone and openly talking to the president of the republic. It is something which is exciting, and then we want to encourage this, that going forward we need to do this public engagement more with the government and with the party, so that the people can understand that we are in these offices to serve them. Let me start with Acholi Sub-region. The specific issues in Acholi Sub-region, of course, emanates from infrastructure issues to pledges and social programs that were supposed to come to this sub-region. On the infrastructure, they are still asking for more roads. For example, the road from Gulu, Omoro to Pade, they are asking it to be tarmac. They are pushing for the road network that should connect Leira, Acholibu and Kitgum, which is already under government program for tarmacking. They are asking for more electricity in the communities. They are complaining about the cost of connecting power to their businesses, to their areas. And in Gulu, they are also complaining about the power fluctuations. At times they go without days. They go for days without electricity. These are things we picked. And then they were asking for cattle compensation, war victims compensation, outstanding presidential pledges. We are talking about scholarships for students from Acholi Sub-region, that the status should offer more scholarships. They are talking of support to businesses that were affected during the war. There are quite a number of issues that were raised in that area. And indeed, the president responded to them well. We also got to know that there was a bit of a challenge with the market vendors, with the issue of the main market, which the president sent a team to address. And also the challenge with the implementation of PDM, which is a new government program that is on the ground. When we cross to West Nile, the issues also, it seems to be similar, but with a little detail, in the sense that in terms of infrastructure in West Nile, for example, road infrastructure, the people of West Nile are saying, yes, they do appreciate government for the tarmac road that connects them to the rest of the country. However, they were not fully aware that the rehabilitation on Karuma or Luyo Pakwach road is ongoing because that part is already bad and damaged. So they raised that government should pay close attention to contractors that are given some of these projects, because that is a new road. It has not even spent, I would not say it has spent like 10, 15 years. It's already developing patches and has issues. So government is doing the work for the second time. So they're saying government should follow the contractors that are given some of these projects. Alongside that, the president promised that the road from Pakwach, Panyimu, along the border to Goli and Paida and Zombo to Bora will be tarmac, and then the one that connects Nebi to Goli will also be tarmac, then proceeds to West Nile, to Arua side, and then the one from Pakwach, Wadilai, through Ubongi to Moyo will be tarmac, and then the one which is now being worked on is the one that connects Atiak, Ajumani. It will cross the Nile to Moyo, from Moyo to Yumbe, Koboko, because now we have tarmac from Arua to Koboko at the border. So these connectivities, once is handled and tarmac, it will be good. Then there is one that will have to be worked on from Arua through Terego to Obongi. These are roads that the president promised the people of West Nile that they will be worked on. In terms of power, yes, they also complain that they have been having very inadequate supply of power, and because of that, the government through Ministry of Energy explained to the population that we've been having challenges because Nyagak was not generating enough power, the first dam that was built in Nyagak. So that was why government thought of building the second dam at Nyagak to generate additional 3 megawatts of electricity, in addition to the original 6 that was done by Nyagak 1. However, the president told them that there is a bigger plan to extend power to West Nile, that the government is extending a 132 kV line to West Nile, which will go to West Nile through 2 channels, one through Karoma, Oluyo to Pakwach, then West Nile, then another one through Bulu to West Nile. Now, these are projects that government is trying to put together to extend power to West Nile. And indeed, we realize there is a lot of business activities taking place in West Nile. There are a lot of industrial activities, new factories, new industries have been opened in West Nile, and these industries are consuming a lot of power because of the proximity of West Nile to DRC Congo and South Sudan. This puts a lot of emphasis on power consumption and energy consumption, and it's a plus to government of NRM that the activities in West Nile which are business related is creating more demand for power consumption, and this demand is what government is trying to address. We have also noted that West Nile is connected through 3 ferries across the Nile. One is from Wangseko to Panyimu, which is a big ferry, connects Bunyoro and West Nile. There is a second ferry which is already operating from Obongi to Ajumani, which we used as we were crossing the Nile yesterday. Then there is the 3rd ferry from Moyo to Laropi in Ajumani. So these are good positives that we see that is happening in West Nile. And of course, in Arua, they raised the concern of the market that government has built. They appreciate the new market that government built, though they are saying allocation of the stalls in the market is a challenge, that some leaders have allocated themselves a number of stalls and they are the ones renting it out, and because of this they have pushed out the original market vendors that were managing these stalls. So the president promised that he will send the State House Anti-Corruption Unit to go and investigate the matter further. And quite a number of things were raised, and the people were very happy. And one thing that was very, very, very outstanding was the president's commitment in fighting corruption in the government systems, which really excited the population. And then his message of continuous fight against poverty at household level. So these are quite a number of packages that we picked from West Nile. The PDM is an initiative by the party, but the PDM program was designed by the NRM party. It was agreed in the party, discussed in the party during the SEC retreat that took place in Igongo in Barara. Now, this PDM is to help continue fighting poverty at household level. Of course, we do appreciate that government was implementing quite a number of social programs from NUSA, PRDP, OWC, and Tandikwa, Emeyoga, and all that. But still, many of these programs are designed and managed by technocrats, by leaders, and only enforced on the people. But PDM is different in the sense that money will go direct to the parishes. The people at the parish level will form their circles, and then there are 7 enterprises that the government has listed that they can work on: coffee farming, fruit farming, piggery, poultry, so on and so forth. There are 7 listed among the enterprises that the people can select. And initially it was agreed that the people should pick, for example, the measure to 1 million shillings per person. If you borrow 1 million from the PDM fund, you use 180,000 to buy seedlings for coffee, and then 820,000 will remain for you to clear the garden, dig the holes, and prepare the garden for. So 1 million can make a farmer plant 1 acre of coffee adequately. And coffee is one of the best crop that we're encouraging our people to go into. So the president has been talking about that yes, you can do coffee for those with the land that can do 1 acre. You can go for fruit farming, you can go for fish farming, you can go for poultry, you can go for piggery for those who are not Muslims, and the others. So it is encouraging households into many other subsistence engagement that they should take. Now, it starts with the enlightenment education that is supposed to be done by leaders at the district level. The extension workers are supposed to train these groups and members of the groups. They are supposed to open accounts in the bank because the money comes from government direct to the banks, to their accounts. So all these are interventions that government is doing to make sure that we cut middlemen from interfering with the parish development funds. Now, it has also value chain, the production side, the supply side, the processing side. So it's a value chain that I can be a producer, somebody along the chain can be someone who buys my product, then there is going to be a processor of my product. So if we educate the public better, we take them through the chain, the value chain, everybody will benefit along the line, from the producer to the processor or the processor of the product that we produce. So PDM is mainly focusing at commercialization of agriculture with calculation, with adequate knowledge in terms of what has national market, regional market, and international market. And those are the products and the crops that we are encouraging people to produce. We are doing what the party in government is supposed to do. We are not campaigning. If what we are doing is seen to benefit us politically, we can't apologize for it. Because these are things that we got committed to in doing, and we have to do them. We are not saying vote for us because we have brought PDM, vote for us because we are putting you into groups, vote for us because we are introducing you to new crops. We are not talking about that, because that would mean direct campaign. What we are doing is helping the public come out of poverty, because what is the essence of us being in leadership when we don't help the people come out of poverty? Because our target now is to make sure we fight poverty at household level. And if fighting poverty at household level is seen by our colleagues in opposition to mean early campaign, then they don't understand the meaning of politics. Because we are in politics to transform society, to transform community. And how do you transform community? You transform community through introducing programs and products that change their socio-economic status. It is not about political talks and talks and talks. People's livelihood must change. And when they change for the better, that means we're doing good politics. We wouldn't want them to be in the same state we found them when we were looking for the votes in the last election. By 2026, their status must improve so that we look at different things in 2026. And that is what we are doing. So if it is looked at as early campaign, then we are campaigning against household poverty. We are campaigning against illiteracy. We are campaigning against backwardness. Then we are campaigning against those things. We are not campaigning against our political opponents. That is the difference. The one for 2026, definitely, we shall now be presenting what we stand for against what they stand for. But for now, we are presenting what we stand for against the challenges that people are facing, which are illiteracy, backwardness, poverty, diseases. This is the campaign we are doing.